Hey, record loving friends, this is Brian from Tokyo Record Style. The season of Goodwill is upon us, and I have a special story for you today. I've also got my red holiday hat on that I bust out this time of year. My beard, my Santa in training beard, is getting a little more gray every year, working towards becoming the next Santa Claus. I've busted out my Christmas records. I think I'll do a video on them a little bit later, but I've got a cheap, not blue Christmas, but a Japanese with Obi Elvis record. Of course, Vince Guaraldi and the Peanuts. Do They Know It's Christmas? This one drives me a little bit crazy. My favorite, probably, Christmas record, John Denver and the Muppets. I've got the Rockin' Christmas record with Chuck Berry and Brenda Lee and the Killer One. I've got Phil Spector's Christmas record. Been listening to this one already. And, of course, Black Christmas. Cool, kind of little bit obscure, funky record. And I think I've got War Is Over, Happy Christmas, some singles in here somewhere, and we'll do a video on them later. But for right now, I have an amazing... Right now, I have an amazing story of Goodwill that I came upon last month that is featured as the most recent post on Tokyo Record Style. And if you're not already following Tokyo Record Style, I recommend you go check it out on Instagram, Tokyo Record Style, or go to the website and check out tokyo.record.style. It's the top post. And I'm actually going to read it to you today from my iPad. So these were... Well, I kind of don't want to steal my own thunder, but it was just, I met two characters on the streets of Shimokitazawa, and they actually didn't have records. It was kind of, I spotted them, and I'll just let the story speak for itself. So Tokyo Record Style, go check out the page, and here is Jerome and Naomi. And here's the story of me meeting them last month. Oh boy, have I got a story for you. Strap in, because this is going to be a good one. A few weeks back, while I was on my way home from Ebisu, I drove past General Store Records, right as one of the charming and cute staff was walking down the stairs at the end of her day, carrying a record to boot. Oh, here's my chance, I thought. Despite my best pitch and that she knew Tokyo Record Style, fact was she was late for a date and reluctantly declined. Not to be defeated, I dashed over to Disc Union and spotted a supremely cool-looking silver fox walking out with records. He, too, was on his way somewhere, but cordially exchanged names before taking a rain check. Bummed out, I drove up Ichibangai Street on my way out of Shimokita, only to discover the record station's lights on, uncharacteristically after hours. I could see the second floor window open and shouted up to the clerk, "You guys still open?" "Nah," he replied, "closed an hour ago, just restocking some stuff." Damn, strikeout. There I was, disappointed, leaning against my bike in front of the adjacent kombini. Well, I guess at least I'll get a zero beer, which I did and drank on the street, lamenting not making the music connection that I had really been looking forward to. But wait a sec, I thought. What's this coming up the street? Is that a record store bag? Maybe there is still hope. Hold on. Now, that is a record bag, but it sure doesn't look like there's records in there. Nope, definitely not. That is a picture of a record on a bag. Does that count? Should I stop them? Nah. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, what the hell, why not? Pardon me, I'm a record collector and a photographer. Is that a record store bag? Yeah, it is, but sadly, it doesn't have any records in it. I'm a collector too. This bag is from a shop in my hometown in Belgium. Nice. I'm Brian. I do this project, blah, 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 blah. Nice to meet you, Jerome and Naomi, blah, blah, blah. Wow, first time in Japan? Cool. Osaka, Nikko, Tokyo, blah, 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 blah. Far out, me too. Blah, 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 blah. Smile, smile, smile. Laugh, laugh, laugh. So, Belgium, huh? What town? Geel. Geel, huh? What's Geel famous for? Well, actually, and this is where the story gets good. Jerome and Naomi proceeded to tell me the most enthralling story about the town of Geel, which starts with an Irish princess named Dymphna, the Lily of Ire, as she'd come to be known. As a devout follower of Christ, when Dymphna was just 14 years old, she consecrated her faith by taking a vow of chastity. Not long thereafter, her mother, also devout, tragically passed away. The king had loved his wife deeply, and in the grief of her death, he began to lose his mental wellness. Urged to remarry, the king, after searching fruitlessly for a bride as beautiful as his deceased wife, began to desire his own daughter for her strong resemblance to her mother. Intent to keep her vows, when Dymphna caught wind of her father's intentions, she fled Ireland, sailing towards present-day Belgium, landing in the town of Geel, where, with her father's wealth, soon established a hospice for the poor and sick. Word of her whereabouts eventually got back to the king, who ventured to Geel himself, found Dymphna, and demanded she return to Ireland. She refused. Furious and crazed, the misguided king beheaded his own daughter at the young age of 15. Dymphna's martyrdom would lead her one day to be canonized and become the patron saint of mental illness. Still shortly after Dymphna's death, a church in Geel was built in her honor, and her hospice was expanded for the mentally unwell. As her story spread across Europe, pilgrims seeking treatment for psychiatric disorders began to flock to Geel, and soon the sanctuary was overflowing with so many patients that the townspeople began taking the mentally unwell into their homes. Thus began a tradition for the ongoing care of those with psychiatric conditions that has endured for over 500 years and is still studied and admired today. Patients were, and still are, taken into the homes of Geel's residents, never called patients. They are called boarders, and are treated as ordinary and useful members of the town and the families that host them. They work most often in simple jobs, and in return, they become part of the community, some staying a few months, some decades, and some their entire lives. This is the story of Geel, the most understanding and compassionate town in Europe. Unfreaking believable. I'm humbled beyond words. But it even gets better, if you can believe it. Guess whose record shop caters to Geel's boarders? Guess whose record shop doesn't judge you for your taste in music, for perhaps your eclectic interests, whose doors, service, and catalogs are open to all? Guess whose record shop, in very challenging pandemic times, managed to, in fact, stay in business by the patronage of the mentally unwell? That's right, you guessed it, it's Tony's Music House. Legend. Tony's Music House. This was on the record store bag. God bless him, or should I say Saint Dymphna, bless him, bless Tony's Music House, and bless all the Geel boarders who struggle with mental health, and bless the town of Geel itself for being a beacon of goodwill to the world. And Saint Dymphna, bless Jerome and Naomi for sharing this absolutely unforgettable story with me so that I could share it with you, reader. And for all the amazing, captivating conversations Jerome, Naomi, and I shared, and for recommending Black Midi, Wheel Tura, and Echo from Taiwan. Saint Dymphna, bless me too, please, when I'm struggling with my own health, for when the only thing that helps is music. And bless anyone out there who has read this far and might need a little spirit of Geel in their lives. And Saint Dymphna, help us to remember to be kinder and more understanding and compassionate to each other, and to share and connect through the universal language of music. Amen. Oh, that was a good one. So this is the story of Geel, the town that helps the mentally unwell, and Jerome and Naomi, who told me about this amazing city where they're from. I spotted them with this record store bag. It obviously didn't have records in it, but I thought, oh, what the hell? I'm gonna approach this guy and chat to him. And they were so kind, and they told me about Tony's Muziekhuis. I should probably learn how to say that in Geel. And they've got a bunch of Belgian words on there. Do they speak Flemish? That's Dutch, right? Flemish and what do they speak in Belgium? French and Belgium. But here they are, looking quite cool. And big shout out to Tony's Music and Music House, and to everybody who read and enjoyed this story. So I just want to share that nice story of Goodwill for the holiday. It seemed like a great way to kick off the season of Goodwill by sharing a great story from a wonderful and inspiring town in Belgium, the city of Geel. So thank you for indulging me in another video, and until next time, I will see you out at the record store. Bye.